Hey y'all, hey y'all, hey y'all. Welcome back to another episode of the Redefining Wellness podcast. It's your girl Neek, and I hope that you are feeling wonderful, awesome, amazing, and all the things that makes you you. Thank y'all so much for coming back to the show that helps you to redefine the way that you view wellness, one episode at a time, so that you can be healthy unapologetically and authentically so that you can take up as much space on this earth as you want to. Shout out to our YouTube subscribers. Shout out to you if you have been here for a while. You're listening in your AirPods, in your car, in your Bluetooth, whatever, y'all. Thanks for coming back to the show. Per usual, remember to like, rate, review, subscribe, tell a friend to tell a friend, because remember, that helps for this show to continue to grow. And today we have a super awesome people episode. And I think that this episode is super important as we are getting into the beginning of the year. Happy New Year, by the way, y'all. As we're getting into the beginning of the year, and I know that y'all health insurances re-upped for the
Wow.
year. I know my HSA FSA card has re-backed up. It was on zero for like 6 months, but we are back, and I'm so happy to have CPA Festina Manly-Spain here with us today to tell us some things about personal finance, how you can get the most out of your benefits at work, because there's a lot of things that we see on social media. I remember something that was like, yeah, you can get your toes done. Just go to the podiatrist, and you can do it through HSA, FSA. We're gonna talk about all the things, but before we do, Festina, welcome to the show.
Hi, hey everyone. I'm so excited to be here with you. It is the top of 2026, and as you said, we re-up. So I'm excited to talk about all things personal finance.
Yes. And what I love to do with my super awesome people episodes, I would love for you to describe you. If someone said, who is Festina? How would you describe yourself?
Ooh, that's a hard one. I would say I'm first and foremost, I'm one of the calmest person people you would ever run into. Like if there's a storm going on, I'm just like, we'll get through it.
Period. Okay.
Yeah, so that's me. I'm calm by nature, but that doesn't mean I don't like excitement. I love to be spontaneous. I love to travel. I'm a numbers girly, so I've known that I wanted to be an accountant since I was in high school.
Wow.
Yes. So that's pretty much who I am in a nutshell. I think right now, I'm also a mom. So right now, I'm trying to redefine me. I'm trying to figure out who I am after I gave birth to my wonderful daughter. So yeah, that's pretty much it.
Yes, yes, thank you. And that's, you know what, when I was in high school, I'm not a numbers girl, but I love
Mhm.
like algebraic equations and I love writing out numbers, but the advanced numbers, I don't know how y'all got through accounting in college, accounting 1 and accounting 2. I
Yes.
saw people stress
Yes.
over
It
those
is
classes.
stressful. It almost got me. Like, I almost reconsidered myself because, to be honest, it's more about rules more than numbers. So it's about order, it's about rules, and I do love those things as well. Numbers is about pattern, and accounting just puts the two, like the math and the rules together. Yeah.
Before we get into all the things accounting, and y'all, tax season is coming, and we're gonna kind of
It here.
get it done early. Don't be a me.
Don't be that one.
Get it done early. That's actually on my Q1 goals, is to have my taxes done by the end of Q1.
Okay.
Like,
Ahead of the curve.
I'm trying. I'm
I love
trying.
Yeah. Make it a goal. Be intentional.
Yes, I'm
Yeah.
trying to be a grown up when it comes to these finances, and I'm so excited because you have so many resources to help people to feel more comfortable when talking about money. And we're going to dig into all of that, but y'all know we have our 3 segments that we get into on the show. And we're going
Yeah.
to start off with Song of the Week. So if you have a song that maybe recently came out that you're like, oh, I have to talk about how great this song is, or how much this song sucks, or you've recently had a experience at a concert or a show and you're like, y'all, it just was so amazing. or you have a song that's like your go-to, or even do you have a song that's kind of leading you into 2026?
Yeah, so I've been nothing new. I'm not into the new stuff that's out now. And it's not speaking to me. So I've been listening to some 90s R&B. I was actually supposed to go to a 90s R&B party um on the 27th, December 27th, but didn't end up going. So I just put a mix on YouTube. And honestly, it ended up being the best time, and my friends that went were like, "Oh, the party was trash. The party was trash." I'm like, "I had a ball in my living room with the YouTube and my TV."
You know, I didn't dig into, like, the YouTube curated playlist thing and the DJ sets until September. No, I lied, not September, maybe, like, August of last year. I had a
Oh,
like,
wow.
my girlfriends come over and we'll sit and
Yeah.
have wine and talk, and sometimes it's like, you don't wanna put a TV show on, so I was like, "Let me see what I can put on from YouTube."
It's the perfect background music.
And we found these DJ sets where literally they're just in, like, a warehouse and the DJ is just
Yeah.
spinning, and I was like,
It's amazing, and I watching it, I love vibing to it. It is hands down the best entertainment out there, especially in this cold season.
"Yes, yes, just
It's real
come over,
warm.
let's turn on YouTube."
Yeah, let's turn on YouTube and crank it up.
Yes, and I've been getting into the lo-fi R&B, like, kinda the chill background music when
Yeah,
I'm cleaning and
right.
doing little tasks. I'm like, "Wow, this is it showing my age that I like this?" Or like
Definitely showing our age. I love it. I'm claiming it. I think I would live in certain musical eras for the rest of
mm,
my life.
yeah.
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 I can't get myself out of the '90s, out of, like,
Yes.
the late '80s, like,
Yes.
I can't do
Yeah.
it. Okay,
Yeah.
have you ever done a R&B, what's it called? Like, not trap karaoke? I guess maybe trap karaoke because I remember
Ooh.
that started, like, 10 years ago. Have you ever done anything like that?
No, I haven't, but that sounds good.
So they bring them to I've gone to the one in DC, they do them at Howard
Okay.
Theater, and I know that they bring them to Baltimore now,
Yeah.
and it probably at, like, a small concert hall or something like that.
Okay.
There granted, if you wanna do karaoke, you gotta get there early, but it was so much fun when I went. I
So it's
think I've
like
gone to 2.
live group karaoke?
You can go in as a group, like, y'all
Okay.
can all get up on stage, but then, of course, because
Well,
it's songs that everybody knows, like, the whole venue starts to sing the song too.
nice.
But it was and I know they still do trap karaoke, and there's another, like, these R&B, like, kinda day party concerty thing. Yeah, it's been
I
really
think
it's been a vibe,
yeah.
yeah,
Yeah, that sounds fun. I'm down
yeah.
for that.
Check out trap karaoke, they usually come around in, like, the early summer.
Okay, makes sense.
Yes. So then our next segment, what's Neek watching? And this could either be a show that you're watching, a book that you're
Mhm.
reading, or a podcast that you're listening to that you're like, y'all have to listen, watch, or read, or please stay away from this because it's awful.
Okay, 2 things.
Yes, perfect.
Okay, so I think over the holidays, The Bodyguard was trending.
It was.
It was trending. They had the 30th anniversary in November, and I missed that, so I didn't go in theaters and watched it, but people were talking about it. I was like, "Oh, I need to watch this," and hands down, the best movie ever. It was perfect for the time, and I enjoyed every moment. And going back to songs, I didn't realize that "I Will Always Love You" came from that movie, and "I'm Every Woman." I'm
Yep.
like, "What?"
Yep.
This is reaching deep into my soul. So I thoroughly enjoyed that as something that I watched over the holiday. And then a book that I just read, it's called The Overthinker's Guide to Making Decisions.
Putting it in my journal right now. Hold on. The
Please,
overthinking
everyone,
guide to
write
making
that one
decisions.
down. The Overthinker's Guide to Making Decisions. I thought it would just scratch the surface. No, 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 no. Let me tell you, it went deep. It had me soul searching. Really, it talked about the thing that spoke the loudest to me is when it talked about we've pretty much stopped trusting ourselves, and that's why we overthink. We're overthinking because we've lost the art of just believing in ourselves and taking that leap of faith. So the board behind me for it right now says believe in yourself because it really spoke to me. I'm like, I need to practice believing in myself so I can make decisions and move quickly because dragging my feet ain't doing it.
Yeah, I felt that.
It's not doing it. So that one really got me.
Period.
Yeah.
Okay. I forgot that the Bodyguard 30th anniversary was this year because
Yeah.
a lot of movies had 30th anniversaries, like Clueless 30th anniversary was in
Mhm.
2025. And my mom actually, she said to me, she was like, "I didn't know Clueless was thirty years
No.
old." And I said, "Yeah, I was like, "Yeah, girl." Like, and so she said, "What business did you have watching Clueless?" I said, "I watched it with you." Like,
Right.
and it's a PG movie. It was
Right.
not that.
Yeah.
And I had to remind her, I was like, "Mom, they made a TV show out of the movie, like,
Yeah, I forgot
because the
about
movie
that.
did so good." I had 2 Clueless dolls. I had the whole
You're an
shebang.
everything clueless.
Clueless dolls. I think I had Cher's Jeep too, but my mom couldn't find Cher. So I had Amber and Dion.
Yeah.
And, that was one of the first dolls that they made had, like, individual braids, and it
So
was around the time that Brandy's doll had came out.
yes.
So they
So you
were
had braided hair dolls. I love
had the
it.
braided hair dolls.
We need to bring those back.
They should, but I'm wondering, are the girls I'm sure little girls are still playing with Barbie dolls.
Yeah. Yeah, my daughter's 6 years old, and she loves dolls. And, we get her a variety of dolls, Barbies, plus, the black dolls as well.
Yeah.
Um, and she's into them. She's very much into them. So the braided hair dolls would
Yeah.
be lit.
Yes, that was and it was like growing up here, it was you couldn't find a Brandy doll. Everybody
Mm,
pulling up them Brandy dolls. And then this year, it was the 30th anniversary of Waiting to Exhale this
yes.
past year.
I saw that.
And I need to watch the interview with Angela Bassett and all the girls with
Yeah.
Gail. I need to sit down and watch that. But I watched Waiting to Exhale maybe like around the 26th, 27th.
Okay.
And watching Waiting to Exhale as an adult that's about the same age as them in the movie,
Ooh, that gotta hit deep.
it hit very deep. It hit because Whitney Houston's character was 33, and I was like, "I'm not 33. I'm older than 33." And it was just like, "Whoa, girl."
You're getting up there, but it's all good. It's all
But it was a good way to kind of sit and reflect
mhm.
on the movie.
Yeah.
So I would tell anybody, even with The Bodyguard or even with any movies that you watched as a kid, look at it from the lens of an adult
Yeah.
because you will be surprised at some of the lessons that still resonates, but
Yes,
even
very much.
newer lessons that you see with like your adult eyes.
Yeah, very much. I love
Yeah.
that.
Yes. And then our last segment. And so my therapist said,
Oh,
these are moments where your therapist has either drugged you by your front teeth and told you
mhm.
about yourself, or you have a great gem that an awesome mentor has left on you that you feel like other people need to hear.
I mean, I would still go back to that book. Right now, I'm not in therapy. I just looking for the perfect one, right?
That
Yeah, so I'm exploring, and that's something I need to do this year. That's on my list is find a therapist. But yeah, just believe in yourself. I think when I was doing some deep dives into the Bodyguard movie, they talked about an interview where Kevin Costner was saying how Whitney didn't believe in herself, and he told her you're born for this. You're born to do this,
Yeah.
right? And she didn't see in herself, so it just took somebody else to kind of look at her and tell her, "You're born to do this," and she knocked it out the park, like hands down, hands down.
Yeah, she
Yeah, so it's just self love. I think is a big one. Self love and appreciating yourself for who you are. Yeah,
that's
what
one of
about
the things
yours?
that's very important. We all need.
Yeah, yeah. What about yours? I know you have gems on your podcast, so I'm waiting to hear this.
Girl, I had therapy this past week. And one of the big things that we've been talking about in therapy is I'm dating again. And
Right.
so she's trying to launch me into the world properly.
Ooh,
And
launch. This is
girl,
official.
listen, yes, child. But one of the things that she has kind of always been, especially when I first started seeing her, I've been seeing my therapist for like about 2.5 years.
Uh-huh.
And her thing is always to give myself grace. Like,
Yes.
stop feeling like I need to be this like super finished product and
Yeah.
to take more moments to be present and be in just find things that are grateful that you're grateful for. Because sometimes I get so overwhelmed with everything that's going on in life and
Yeah.
moments where I'm like, can I have it all? Can I
Yeah.
have the business and the
Yes.
notoriety and the man and the this and the that?
Yes. You want it
And
all.
yeah, she's like, you can have all of the things. You just have to learn how to ground yourself in the things. And I think also wintertime is difficult. So I was telling you earlier before we started recording, like wintertime
Mhm.
just sucks butt
Yeah.
because you can't
Stop.
there's a purpose for winter,
Yeah. To hibernate.
but when you're in a space of constant growth, you're like, "Ah, I can't grow in this weather and in this space."
Yeah.
So
Yeah.
she's really been trying to get me to find moments to be present. And
Yeah.
also, her big thing for me is go find a hobby. Like,
Mm.
she's been very,
Like
always about a hobby. The
yeah.
last time we spoke, she always asks me, like, "How's work going?" Work is on my
Uh-huh.
She asks me how things with my family is, but she's very poignant about, all right, what's the social life looking like?
Yeah.
Because I'm an overthinker. And that's why I don't read this damn book. But with me being an overthinker, I can isolate myself when I get like super overwhelmed.
Yeah.
And so she's always like, so what did you do these last 2 weeks? What did you
Mhm.
do outside of the house? What did you do that wasn't work? Like, and don't say you got your nails done. That's not a hobby.
It's a form of a hobby, I think.
It's a form of a hobby. So she's like, did you go hang out with your friends? Did y'all, did a friend come over and just hang
Mhm.
out? Or, so she's really been trying to get me to do things that are not monetary, like for monetary purposes.
Gotcha.
And it's funny, I was watching this girl on TikTok. She was talking about how TikTok ruined hobbies
Mm.
because, like, even for something as simple, like I'm trying to learn how to crochet, I'm trying to do better with that.
Yeah.
Or I will say my hobby is I get like flowers and
Yeah.
I'm getting in my decorating bag. But the girl was like, how TikTok ruined hobbies because now people are trying to monetize hobbies,
Mhm.
even down to coloring books and,
Everything. Yeah.
you know, so
My God.
I'm
She's so right.
I'm girl, like, so that was her big thing for me this week is
Yeah.
what did you do for yourself and not for money?
Okay. Okay. I love it. I love it. So what did you do?
So, I decorated my apartment. I
Okay.
definitely did that.
Yeah.
I have 2 bedrooms. I'm trying to really decorate my back
Okay.
bedroom. I
Okay.
got myself some flowers, my flower
Yeah.
year, and
Yeah.
my homegirl, my best girlfriend from since kindergarten, she had a game night, and I
Okay.
and I had a great time. And
Yeah.
so now I'm gonna just get games so that people.
That's what we need to bring back. We need to bring back in-person meetups.
Yes.
Like, we need to take a step back from the phone. So that girl was right. Like, take a step back from the phone. Don't think we have to monetize and get rich from everything.
Yes.
And be present. Be present with each other, and just lean on each other as a community a little bit more.
Yes. I said 2026 is the year to bring the kickbacks back.
Yes, 100% agree.
Like, bring back "Hey, you bring this thing, this
Right.
dish,
Yeah.
I'll make" like, I also told myself too, I was like, "I'm gonna host a barbecue this year."
Ooh,
Don't know how I'm gonna do it. I said,
get excited.
We'll figure it out when we get closer to it." But I was like, I need to just host and create community
Yeah.
around everybody
Yeah.
needs that.
Yeah. I
Yeah.
100% agree. We'll bring back in-person and real life events.
Right. And put your phone in a box. Don't be on your phone all night.
I know. Yes, everything is for content, everything is for aesthetics.
And it don't
It
need to
doesn't have
be.
to be that way.
It
Yeah.
don't need to be. Yes. Yes. Well, of course, everybody that's listening, everybody that's watching, y'all know if you want to contribute to any of the 3 segments, you can always email redefiningwellnesspod@gmail.com and I'll feature you on the show. Whether you want to be known or anonymous,
Amen.
can make it anonymous. All right, y'all. So, and I'm actually excited because now we can get into the nitty gritties of the conversation. I
Yes.
know this was what y'all have been waiting on. Grab a pen, grab a piece of paper, maybe open up your HSA account, FSA account
Yes, that part.
to figure out how we're going to get these ducks in a row.
Yes.
But before we get into it, what for you, Festina, what made you want to dig a little bit deeper into how to understand your benefits for
Mhm.
your job? And I know as a CPA, you
Mhm.
have to ask people, what was your contribution to your 401k? Because that makes a
Yeah,
difference tax time and
for sure.
how much did you donate and,
Yeah.
all of those things. What
Yeah.
made you be like, I need y'all to do better with this and max it?
Because I've been through it. Right. I'm a CPA, but I didn't grow up talking about money. I lived in a household where money was very much felt and not heard. So I saw the stress. I saw the joy on the other side of the spectrum, right? And I saw all the things that money brought, but no one ever said this is why. So as an adult, I graduated. I had my first job. I was walking into Deloitte like, hey, I'm that girl. To now figure out, because this is not something they teach you in school, right? Even as a CPA, they teach us how to manage other people's money, but not our own. So I had to now figure out what medical insurance I wanted, what dental, yeah. So literally had to sit myself down and teach myself, go through all the resources, all the videos. Back then, YouTube wasn't popping like it is now. So there wasn't a lot of content or guides. So I asked people, I talked to people, and then I read a lot, right? To make sure that I was making the right moves. So I've been there, and I'm not going to say I did everything 100% correct, but I took the time out to learn. And I just want to pass that on to others because it can be stressful, but it doesn't have to be, right? You just need to know where to go for the right information. And, understanding these benefits and what's available has really changed my life. One example that I'll give is when I was pregnant with my daughter, I had my HSA. So I put a ton of money into my HSA, which helped reduce my taxable income. And when I had her, and the bill for the hospital came, it said $4,500 or 5,000 something. I was like, holy shit. If I didn't have this money, I would have to go into debt for this medical bill, right? So I made sure that I planned ahead. So I had to use my HSA, and I also started my high yield savings then. So my husband and I did certain things to prepare us for that stage. So yeah, it's been life changing, I would say. Mm.
For anybody that doesn't know, what is the difference between an HSA and an FSA?
Yes, yes. So they're very similar. Stands for Health Savings Account. This is the one that you can carry with you from job to job and from year to year. FSA stands for Flexible Spending Account. So this one has more restrictions and it doesn't carry over from year to year. You have like a grace period. I think they give you like 30 days after the year ends to spend the money, but it's very much a use it or lose it situation. So if you don't use the money in your FSA, you will lose it. On the flip side, if you don't use the money in your HSA, you can actually invest it. Yes. So this is a great way for people to start investing because I get a lot of people, how do I invest? How do I start doing this? I'm like, you could use an HSA. It does three things. It'll lower your taxable income. It'll give you money to put into the stock market and you never lose it. So you could be in your retirement age and then pull out your HSA to use for your medical. So I really love HSAs. They're like the best thing ever.
Interesting.
Yeah,
Okay.
yeah. A lot of people don't know that, but you can invest the money in your HS.
There is a certain max that you are allowed to put in for both though,
Correct.
isn't there?
Yes, correct. It changes year over year, but I think this year it's about $7,000, $8,000 that you can put in this year into your HSA and to get the benefits. So I try to max mine out. And then also some employers will actually contribute for you so you can reach that max. Yeah. So one of my prior employers, they would actually contribute up to $1,000. Yep. So I only have to put in, 1,000 less than the max to get to my goal. Yeah. So it can be really handy. Yeah, better read them pages. I know the benefits guide is thick, but just take some time and go through it. Maybe even drop it into ChatGPT. Like, there's ways you can get around it now.
Interesting, because I I have before I would worked for a job that offered HSA, FSA. Of course, I had to pay
Mhm.
everything out of pocket, and I just had my
Yeah.
regular health insurance and stuff. They I'm sure they do talk about it when you have that open enrollment time and everyone has
Yep.
webinars on, I
Exactly.
should have maybe I should have sat in on that web.
Yeah, and ask the questions. A lot of employers, they will open up a forum for you to go and ask your questions. So very much ask the questions. And then if you don't have a tax advisor, or even if you do, that's someone you can ask as well. I would say the only caveat to HSA is it does come with higher premiums. So your medical premiums on a month to month or paycheck by paycheck basis will be a little bit higher. But if you're a generally healthy person, it's actually ideal because you get to put that money away and kind of stash it for the future.
Yeah, okay, okay. For one of the things that I've seen online a lot when it comes to utilizing your HSA, FSA, I've
Hmm.
seen a lot more companies are HSA eligible, FSA eligible.
Hmm.
Are there any myths that we're seeing online about how to use your HSAs or FSAs that you're like, "Don't do that because that doesn't work for real?"
Yes, you talked about the podiatrist. That could be true.
Mhm.
That could be true. I think you have to spend it on medical premiums, right? Well, not premiums, like medical co-pays. So if that is a licensed professional, then yes, you can definitely spend it on that. And then also medical devices or medical medicines, you can spend it on as well. I've seen a lot of baby products. So, and it changes from time to time. Like when I had my daughter, a lot of baby products weren't covered. But now, as I'm seeing stuff online, they're all pretty much covered by HSA.
Yeah,
So it has changed and it has developed. I think you have to go through the process to get your products, or companies do. They have to go through that process to get their products eligible. So the one thing I would say is just make sure you read the fine print and also keep documentation. So if you saw somewhere that it says it's eligible, make sure you take a screen grab of that or a snapshot just so you have it, because the IRS could come back and disallow your deductions for what you spent on it. Yeah. So the best thing you can do for yourself is just keep documentation, keep proof. Yeah.
now, as we're looking at so we have those benefits, and
Hmm.
as a CPA, I know another piece that you deal with is the 401k, 403bs, all of those things. So, a lot of folks, you have your company contributed
Yeah.
401k.
Yep.
As a millennial,
Hmm.
how much do you think as a CPA we should be contributing to our 401ks? Whether it is company contributed or it is your own individual IRA route?
Yeah, that is a fantastic question. There's no one size fit all. So personal finance is very personal, right?
Yeah.
But I would say at least the minimum needed to take advantage of your company's match.
Right.
So if your company is going to match 3% of your salary or 3% of your contribution, at least put in that 3%,
Yeah.
right? Because that's free money we don't want to leave on the table. That's free money we don't want to walk away with. People, are looking for free money everywhere. This
Yes.
is it. This is
Yeah.
it. Why are we leaving it on the table? So at least that minimum. And then work towards maxing out your 401k first, right? Work towards maxing that out. The limit is a little higher. I think now we're closer to like $20,000. So if you can get there, fantastic. And then once you've maxed that out, move on to your IRA. That limit is much less at $7,000 a year. And then if you are under the income limit, you can also do a Roth IRA. Yeah. So that will be my strategy. Start with the minimum needed to get that money so you don't leave it on the table. Then max out the 401k. Then put some money into your IRA and then a Roth if you're able to contribute to a Roth.
And for again, for those that are listening, what would the difference be between an IRA and a Roth?
Yeah. An IRA is pre-tax. So the main difference is that you get a tax one gets a tax benefit, the other doesn't. The IRA is you get a pre-tax deduction. So if you put up to 7,000, it reduces your taxable income by that amount. The Roth, on the other hand, does not. That is after tax money. So you have already been taxed. That is your net paycheck that hit your bank account. Now you're taking it and put it into a Roth IRA account. So pre-tax is before, Roth is after. And a lot of people, there's been a lot of talk about Roth. A lot of people love Roth IRAs. It is great. I'm not going to say it's not a great product. It is a great product, but in terms of priority, I would say the IRA would be priority in my books, in my opinion, because the Roth is tax free when you are retired. You can take your money out tax free. The IRA is not tax free, right? But when you've retired, you're already going to be, let's assume, you're going to be at a lower income bracket, right? So you're probably not going to pay much taxes on that anyway. Yeah. So I would say don't worry about the tax in the future. Worry about the benefit that you'll get now. Yeah.
Consider the tax break now.
Yeah. Take the tax break now
Mhm, mhm.
because
Gotcha.
you just never know. You just
Yeah,
never know. Yeah.
yeah. And also, I had read that with a Roth,
Hmm.
because it's post-tax, if you need
Hmm.
to pull from the Roth, it would be
Hmm.
penalty free.
Some parts of it.
Okay.
Yes. The contributed portion is penalty free after you've invested or you've been in the Roth for I think like 2.5 years or 2 years. But there's a lock-in period. So after you've passed that lock-in period, the contributions are tax-free or penalty-free. Tax-free and penalty-free. But the gain, so any gain that you've made on that Roth investment is still subject to income tax. Yeah.
Okay.
So no penalty, but you'll be subject to income tax.
Okay, and I think something that a lot of folks do not pay attention to, and I know that I was one of those folks, and I'm glad my
Mhm.
dad mentioned something to me about it.
Yeah,
When you go job to job,
that part.
when
Because
you
we do that nowadays, you know?
yes, but when we go job to job, we should be rolling the 401k over.
Yes, yes,
Roll it over.
yes, your dad is right. It's just so much harder. I think there's nothing, you know, complex about it's just the administration part. You gotta keep track of this 401k and this 401k. Like, just do yourself a favor and put it all into one pot. That'll make things way smoother. And also, your money will be in this well, you can diversify your investment, but you'll
Yeah,
know where all your money is at a
yeah,
given time. Yeah.
yeah, yes. I think that I think that's the greatest thing that my dad told me when I was in my 20s when I got my first like little big girl job. He
Hmm.
said, if they offer 401k,
Yeah.
get it.
Yeah.
And he told me too, he said, do what their match minimum is. If you
With a
can't
match
do
minimum.
anything more, at
Hmm.
least do the match minimum.
Yeah.
And I had a nice little piece of little change in my 401k because I started it when I was 20. I started it when I was 26,
Okay.
and now I'm
That's
36.
okay. 10 years.
And it did, did a little something.
Yeah. A little something. That's all we need, a little something to hold us.
Mhm. Yes.
Yeah, but definitely the minimum, and then, if you are comfortable and you can do more, let's strive for the max.
Yeah. Now I know that some people probably feel uncomfortable with the 401k because I think the first thought is, and I've run into in my dating travels over the years.
Eh,
We have the finance conversations, and
yeah.
I was like, I think I told a guy,
Mhm.
I think I asked him if he had a 401k, or he asked me something. And I was like, yeah, something with my 401k, and he was like, I don't have a 401k, and I was like,
Whoa. Whew.
this
Was
this
that a deal breaker for you?
this isn't gonna. Yeah, it's a super deal breaker for me.
Yeah. Yeah.
At my big age, if I have okay, I need you to also have a 401k.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. Yeah, it's hard. It is hard, especially in our community. There's so many misconceptions. And like I said, it's not talked about enough. So we really need to do better just spreading the word, and making sure that everyone is at the same level.
Yeah.
Yeah.
It's like you said, it's having the conversations, but I think also with
Mhm.
us millennials learning, I would hope that we pass that information on to our
Yeah.
children and our nieces and our
Yeah.
friends. That's one of my big missions is to make
Mhm.
sure that my girlfriends like, "Hey, I wanna make
Yeah.
sure that y'all know about these things."
I
Which is
love
why I
that.
love to do episodes like this because I'm like,
Yeah.
"Girls, we need to
Yes, I love that. I love that. Yeah.
financially literate."
Yeah, one thing that I'm doing in 2026 as well is having in-person meetups where women can come and talk about these things. So just a safe space because a lot of it is frightening and there's a lot of also judgment. Well, finance is a lot of judgment, but I want to kind of break that and have women break free of that. There's nothing to be ashamed of. There's absolutely nothing to be ashamed of as long as you want to try and as long as you are striving to get to a certain point. So we'll be having our in-person mixer on the 17th, January 17th, and we're going to talk about setting financial goals. So what that looks like in terms of where we want our money to be for 2026. So I'm excited.
Yes, I think what gets scary is, especially when we talk about, like, the pre-tax money and the
Yeah.
health benefits and all of the things, it's so hard
Mhm.
when you especially when, open enrollment comes around.
Mhm.
And one, you see that health costs have gone up, which that has been a huge
Yes.
thing in politics right now.
Yeah.
But I could not imagine not being a single person, and I have a family because my dad tells us all the time how much comes out his check for him and my mom for health insurance.
Yeah, girl.
And so you're looking at what's coming out, and then you start thinking to yourself, "Damn, and y'all want me to have 401k come out at the same time?" Because you
Yeah.
think about what your net income, like your not
Right.
your net, but your gross. And you're looking at that gross and you're like, "Ooh, yeah," but then
Mhm.
and we don't talk about how included in benefits packages you can get term life insurance. And I
Mhm.
always get term life insurance because I've
Yeah.
always said my mama is not going to do a GoFundMe for me if God forbid something happens. I'm getting the term life insurance. But I look at my check and I'm like,
Yeah.
I know they offer the job for this amount, but then when everything comes out, how can we keep ourselves, I guess, motivated and focused
Yes.
on you can still live a fruitful and exciting and fun life, but
Yeah.
invest in yourself, your health, and your wealth first.
That's so deep. I think, yes, it is very scary to see that money just wind itself down. But I think a couple of things you need to understand that some of that money is going to your future self.
Yeah. Yeah.
It's going to your future self. So it's not you're not losing it. It's not going anywhere. Maybe income tax, but Social Security, Medicare, that's going to your future self. Term life, that's going to your future self as well. You're looking out for your family and if anything was to happen, any type of insurance, right? And also we need to when that money hits our account, we need to give it a job. We need to be intentional with the money. We can't just let the money drift away, right? So people think budgeting is boring, it's this, it's constrained. No, my budget allows me to do the things that I want to do. My budget will allow me to travel, my budget will allow me to eat out, but I do it in an intentional manner, not just at a whim, right? So you have to create a plan for your money. I'm not going to call it a budget. You got to create a plan for your money that tells your money, "Hey, this is what I want to do this month. I want to get my nails done. I want to
Yes.
get my hair done. So how can I do that?" Right? And sometimes it could mean sacrificing something else or maybe
Oh,
sacrificing. I got to the tough part. It could mean sacrificing in a different month, right? But at least you have a plan and a good roadmap to where you're going, right? You know, if you're fortunate enough, you can do everything every month. But if you are not as fortunate and if you're trying to maybe save up, you got to sacrifice. You got to prioritize, not sacrifice. You got to prioritize.
yes.
Prioritize certain things from time to time. That's all. That's it. That's it. Yeah, I know, it's heavy, it's heavy.
Man, it just
But
makes
let's
you
practice. So it takes
yeah,
time, and once you practice, it'll start feeling comfortable again.
yeah,
Yeah.
yeah.
Just have a plan, please. Have a plan. Do you do any type of budgeting?
Huh?
Do you do any type of budgeting?
Do, and I'll do it, and then I'll be like, "Hey," but then when I do it, I am happy that everything has a place and
Yeah,
that all of the money is accounted for, and if there are certain things I give myself one fun-ish thing to have
yeah,
for myself for the month, like, this month, I'm gonna get myself a bottle of perfume that I've
that
really wanted, so I'm like, "Alright, I'm gonna make sure that my budget is set. I'm
yeah,
gonna do the things that I need to do, and then
yeah,
I can, play around with that part. But it's challenging, I think, because of the pressures that we may experience with like now everybody on social media is sharing the things that they're doing and all the fun that they're
yeah,
doing. And so it's like I want to go outside and have the fun too and wear the clothes and the
yes,
makeup and all of the things. But I love that you said it is you investing in your future self,
it
and if
is.
you possibly wanna have a family, it's also you investing in your future family.
Yep,
Yeah.
yep, very much, very much. And, something that my husband and I do from time to time is we actually romanticize our budget.
Yes, I
So
have money dates.
yes, I love it. I love it. Yes, a money day is so good. So crack open a bottle of wine, set the mood, and talk finances before we do anything else.
Yes, period. I like
Yeah,
that. I like that. And I
yeah,
think too, as we're getting older, and I kinda wanna do a quick, like, circle back with, like, the conversation about, like, the medical insurance. When I was in my 20s, open enrollment, and back in the day, it wasn't I think you would get it in, like, a pamphlet, it was paper, it wasn't
yeah. It
so
was paper.
automated, it was paper. So, I showing the age, okay? And you
Very
open
much.
it, and it was these 3 options, and you're like
What does this mean?
which one do I do? And, my dad has always been, like, my rule of thumb because he's in
Okay.
charge of our family's finances.
Yeah.
And, he would always say, "The first one is the cheaper one. It's gonna be
Mhm,
higher deductibles, it's gonna be all
mhm,
of that stuff." He would say, "The one that's more expensive is gonna be the lower deductible, but you get covered for more things." And he will always say, "I think for you in your 20s, you need the one in the middle."
in
He was
the
like, "You
middle.
wanna make sure you go to the doctor, you wanna
Mhm.
make sure, whatever." And I've still always done the middle one because
Okay.
you see specialists and I'll go to
Yeah.
randomly, I'm like, "Oh, Imma go to the dermatologist," or,
Mhm,
"Oh, Imma
mhm,
go
mhm.
whatever," right? What would you say after the research that you've done on insurances and stuff, like,
Yeah.
how would you tell somebody how to choose?
Yeah. So start with prior year. So what happened last year?
Good
Or
point, okay.
yeah, start with what happened last year or the years before. Did you see those specialists that you said you were going to see, right? Did you make it or did you see your generalist? Did you just go for covered services? Cuz nowadays a lot of things are covered. Like your well woman visit, that's covered under most insurances, I'll say. Or did you actually see specialists where you had to pay a copay? So start there. And if the answer is I only saw my generalist and it's probably going to look similar this year, then I would go with the one that's less in premium and a higher copay for special because you're saving more in the long run that way. And then if you do see specialists and if you do have a medical condition, like most of us do, then you would wanna invest in the one that has lower copay for specialists. That could mean having a higher deductible as well. And then if your company has a high deductible plan, that's also something that you should consider because that's the plan. The high deductible plan is the plan that will give you the HSA. So whichever one you do, specialist or just generalist, the high deductible plan would just allow you to save and invest in the event that you need to see either. Right. So that's how I would approach it. I would look at prior year and my past year, my medical needs, if you have a medical condition, and kind of just map it out from there. What's going to save you the most for what you need to get done? Yeah. Yeah. Right. Nowadays, a lot of companies don't offer 3 medical plan. So, yeah.
Special.
Yours do?
Yeah, we have 3. I've never worked for a company that didn't offer 3.
Wow, okay. Because my husband's, they only offer, like, 2.
Mm,
Yeah, so it's like the basic one and then the premium one, right? And they don't even have the high deductible option. They just have 2. So you may not be in a situation where you have 3 to choose from and there's a middle package that's nice and clean to go with that. You would just have to gauge it by how much it costs in premiums for the year and how much it costs to see specialists. Sometimes it's 20, sometimes it's $50 per visit. But yeah. Yeah.
and then if I'm not mistaken, I feel like I've read that this past year, they did some changing to health benefits in the sense of having your spouse on your benefits. I
Mhm.
think it's that if your spouse is also offered health insurance, they have to be on their own health insurance. Is that true?
I haven't heard that. I don't believe so.
Okay.
Yeah, I don't believe so because you get to compare. So
Yeah.
if you do have a spouse, say you're married, and you both have health insurance, I would 100% compare plans. We used to do this a lot too. We compare and see which one is the best for our family, and that's what we'll go for. It's not just, hey, you're the man, you pay for it,
Right,
right?
right.
I'm taking care of all this, I pay for it. It's really which one is best in terms of premiums and co-pays.
Mhm.
Yeah.
That's what I figured because I feel like I heard that somewhere that they were gonna start doing that.
Interesting. Okay.
Girl, but,
That's new.
people are chatty.
Yeah, yeah. There's a lot going on with health insurance. And it could be different for the exchanges as well. So maybe that's where it's coming from, but not that I've heard of.
Okay, I figured that.
Yeah.
I was like, "I don't think that doesn't
Yeah.
sound right, guys.
Yeah.
That's a lot of money."
What would be the point?
What are some of the things as you've been a CPA, what are some of the common mistakes that you've been seeing people in our, age group, whether they're single or they are married, some common mistakes that they make come tax.
Ooh, this one is a lot. The biggest mistake I see people make is not tax planning. We fail to tax plan or even consult with someone about what our tax picture looks like by the end of the year. I have my own accounting firm and I primarily work with business owners, but I also file taxes for individuals. And people will wait until the very last minute
Yeah,
to give information. And that doesn't help us predict what your tax future is going to look like.
yeah,
So by April, we just want to push the button.
yeah,
We just want to click send,
yeah,
right? But November, December, we should have a good idea of what if you're going to owe and what you're going to owe. So then you have 4 or 5 months
yeah,
to save for it
yeah,
so you're not in debt and you're not in scrambling or
yeah,
having to owe the IRS any money.
got you.
Yeah. So that is when I say we need to talk about money, that's one of the things that we also need to do. It's part of how a lot of, the wealthy people get ahead because they're able to plan and they're able to be strategic with their taxes so they can legally lower their tax liability and not pay too much and not leave any money on the table.
Got you.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
Okay, so check 1, we need to start having the money conversations in
Yeah.
October, November, December. Okay.
October, November, December, you should know if you're going to owe
Mhm.
and how much.
Got
And
you.
if you don't, that's fantastic. That means you did everything you were supposed to do.
Right.
But at least get that off your plate and, have peace of mind by 12/31.
Yeah, got it.
Yeah.
Okay, that's number 1. I've also for years, and I'm
Mhm.
sure you've even heard this when you were in high school, college, there was always a conversation of, as married people, is it better to file together or to file separately?
Yeah, that one popped in my head as well. I've seen a lot of new married couples file separately just because. No rhyme or reason rhythm to it. Some people do have a reasoning, maybe if you have child support, alimony, student debt, and you don't want your spouse's income calculated into that, you might consider filing separately. But what I would advise or what I think is the best approach, not advice. This is general general information. But what might be the best approach is to do the calculation. So what I do for my tax clients, and I'll run the numbers. If I get both the spouse and the taxpayer's information, I'll run the numbers, see what the best option is. 9 times out of 10, it's married filing joint. Yeah. 9 times out of 10 is that, but then we can square off between ourselves. You guys can square off between you. So don't suffer and pay more in taxes because you're trying to circumvent other things. Get that refund, and then that can go to the spouse that isn't benefiting or, that has to give something up for married filing joint. But at least you're not leaving money on the table again.
There is a break. There's a decent little break for
Yeah,
married.
yeah, the tax code is very favorable for married, and then you get penalized for married filing separate. Yes,
Ooh,
the tax brackets are different. You get more income included at lower tax brackets for married filing joint. It's not like a 50-50 even breakdown.
yeah.
Yeah, yeah. So single individuals have less income taxed at lower brackets.
Yeah.
Married couples have more income taxed at lower brackets. Yeah. So that's the difference.
Okay,
Yeah.
okay.
Always do the math. Always crunch the numbers or get the information. You
Yeah.
want to be able to get the information to make the best decision for you. Yeah.
Period. Okay, because yeah, for years, I will always hear about people, even friends, they're like, "Yeah, we file separately," and
Yeah.
my parents don't do that. My
Yeah.
parents would be
Yeah.
at that H&R Block.
Yeah. Yeah, I think that's a newer thing, because of student debt, student
Mhm.
loan debt, and all that. I think that's a newer thing, but
Girl.
it doesn't always mean that you can't file together.
Okay. Okay. Girl, we would be at that H&R Block, and that was before they could, like, really leave us at home, so they would have to
Oh,
bring
yeah?
us with them. So we're
Yeah.
just sitting there.
With all their docs.
Girl, I knew when the year started and I would see them gather them papers together, and they would take that big manila accordion
Manila envelope.
folder,
That hasn't changed, that still happens.
and we get in the car, and I just knew, I was like, "We not going to
Yeah,
Chuck
you're gonna be there for hours.
we not going to Chuck E. Cheese, are we?" Like, "I guess not."
I love it.
Ah, girl. For single people, are there any particular tax breaks that, like, we should know about other than, like, your pre-tax 401ks?
Mhm.
Are there any little tax breaks for single people? Because I think I'm sure there's a misconception about, there's only big breaks for married people, whereas single people, we're just scratching and surviving, child.
Yeah, I mean, the tax bracket is the biggest one, for married folks. For single people, the earned income credit could be a good one because if you're working but you're under a certain income limit, then you could be eligible for the earned income credit sooner versus um versus married folks. But
Okay.
I would say everything else is kind of split 50-50 or evenly, I would say, after the tax bracket. And the tax bracket is the big one, but then everything else like deductions, credits, it's pretty much split. So it's single is like one, and then the rate for the spouses is like just two. That amount times two. Yeah.
Yeah. Okay. Okay.
Yeah.
Is
Mhm.
there anything that you feel like you're like, "Listen, y'all, this, you need to do this ASAP." In your years of being in the field and all the things that you've seen, what is, like, one thing that you would tell, especially Black millennials,
Mhm.
like, to listen, you
Yeah.
need to light your ass
Run
on
the
fire
law.
with this?
Yeah. Yes. Okay. So 529s, right? 529s. Everyone thinks it's for kids, but it's not.
Mm,
Anyone can open a 529. Single, married, adults, kids, but the 529, especially if now if you have student loans, a 529 is something that you can contribute to at your big age and get a credit at the state level. So a lot of it is at the state level, not the federal level, but it still comes in handy. right? You can contribute, get that credit at the state level, and then use it to pay off your student loan. So
Okay.
the rules have changed since last year. So this is pretty new, or maybe a couple of years. But you can now use your 529 plans to pay off your student loans. Yeah.
Okay. I've been seeing more commercials for 529s lately.
Yeah, yeah. They're like HSAs. They're pretty flexible and, they're hitting gem. So if you don't have one, consider it. If you have kids, definitely consider it for your kids. And then another great thing about them is that you can change the beneficiary. So if you don't use it, you can always change the beneficiary to somebody else. Who
Okay.
Yeah. So it's
Okay.
very flexible and it can go a long.
And that's something that you could probably tack on with, like, your benefits that come out of your account. It can.
Some employers do offer contributions to a 529. Yes, yes, some do. Yep, yep, yep.
Okay.
That part too. But you might not get the state credit.
Okay.
The states require you to put money into their 529 plan in order to get the benefit.
Got it. Okay.
So,
What I've been seeing recently is, especially, I don't know if maybe DC doesn't have it, maybe because DC is federal, but, like,
mhm.
I've been seeing a lot of commercials for the Virginia 529.
Yes.
Yeah.
Yep. Virginia, Maryland, those states, they'll give you a credit, or
Hmm.
some kind of break to contributing into their plan. And they could even give you free money. Maryland gives, I believe it's $500 a year to any eligible 529 plans. You
Hmm.
have to put in a minimum amount. So if you put in that minimum, they'll give you 500.
Got it. That's more free money.
That's more free money. Yeah.
Okay.
So I really love 529 plans, and I would say run, don't walk. Yes, but just make sure, you know all the rules and you're doing what you need to do to get all the benefits.
Okay. And then
Yeah.
also, I think one big thing too, as you being a CPA, and there are so many people that are CPAs. I want you to be honest with us here.
Mhm.
Okay.
Mhm.
People be using the turbo taxes, all of the things.
Yeah.
And, I get it, y'all. It's yours truly too. But this year I said, I'm not doing it because I be sitting there confused. Like, I
Mhm.
sit there and I'm like, what are these numbers? I don't.
Yeah.
And then I'm like, I'm pressing the ask the expert button. And then I'm like, what am I supposed to do with this? I don't understand it.
Yeah.
Like,
Yeah.
when do you think it's time for us to have a lady? Do you remember we was talking about on our
Yeah.
you
Yeah.
gotta find a
Had a
lady for
lady.
everything. When is
Yes.
it time to be like, you need to find your
To get a
own
tax
lady?
lady. Yes, like you said, if you're saying they're confused, you have no idea what you're doing, then that's the time. But I usually tell people if you just have W-2,
Yeah.
right? Just a straight W-2 and nothing else, and maybe like 1, 2 max, right? And you worked in the same state all year. TurboTax could hold you over unless you're like super confused and like, I don't know what I'm doing. But that's great for TurboTax. But anything more complex, the tax planning to make sure that you aren't going to owe. And then if you own a business, so if you're a gig worker or if you have a small business,
Mhm.
TurboTax is
Yeah.
not gonna cut it.
Yeah.
It's not gonna cut it. You need more hands-on and dedicated support and someone who could break it down to you like, this is what this means
Yeah.
at any given point of the year. Yeah. So that's why you need to get a tax lady. You got a business, you got a side gig, or you're just like, I don't want to do this anymore. You throwing the white flag.
Got you.
Yeah.
Now, for things like the wealth planning, getting the five twins, understanding the 401ks a little bit deeper, would you suggest going more with the CPA, or is that something where you would get a financial advisor?
Yeah. I don't want to overkill it, but we do different things.
Yeah.
So the financial advisor does different things. So you may need a financial advisor, right? And then the CPA does something different, but we also work together. So if you have a lot of assets and a lot of investments, that's when you may need a financial advisor more, right? If your money is invested in different places, because we don't give investment advice, and we're not fiduciary, so we can't tell you where to put your money. The financial advisor will do that for you. Then um, we will work together to make sure that all of your assets are doing what they need to do, but you're not paying too much in taxes.
Got it. Got it.
And then most of what we just talked about, the CPA can also CPA cover. Yeah, the financial advisor won't tell you like, get this medical plan, but the CPA is more personal relationship. Yeah.
Okay. Okay. And then also, I think my final question, because I think millennials, man, we just, you know,
Good for us.
we've come into life with such great intentions.
Yeah.
And I think as I've been seeing on social media in the last couple of days, everybody's like, yo, it's just like we just keep getting like smacked. Like
We
millennials,
get knocked
we
down.
keep getting
But
knocked
you know
down.
what? We're resilient. We get back
Very
up.
resilient.
We get back up again. Yeah.
What would you say to somebody that's just like, you know what, I need to fix my, not even necessarily fix my financial profile, but I know folks that they maybe did their taxes late.
Mhm. Mhm.
I feel like that happens. I feel like the IRS is not unused to that.
No, no,
But
that's common.
I
Yeah.
but you did your taxes late, maybe, like, and I've also heard of this too, there are
Mhm.
some jobs that
Mm.
don't take out the right taxes,
Yeah.
or they don't take out, like, for example, my
Mhm.
job doesn't take out Maryland taxes.
Huh? Why?
It's something about it's something weird, but they don't take out Maryland taxes.
Is it a state job?
No, it's like the company
Agency?
is based in some state, and they own assets, and because they don't have any assets in the state that I'm a resident of, they don't take the taxes out. It's something so stupid and something
That
so
doesn't sound right.
right. That's also why we're trying 2026, we're going for new employment. Get it done.
Right.
Sounds crazy,
Run.
but I
Okay.
think a lot of us, and I'm
Yeah.
blessed that a lot of us are in the space where we're like, you know what? I need to get my shit together. I know that I'm
Yeah.
one of those
Yeah.
people where I'm like,
Yeah.
40 is closer than what I think it is. And I'm gonna walk into 40 as like my best,
Yeah.
best,
Yeah. Yeah.
best,
By the horn.
or just grab it. It's possible for us to turn our tax future around even at this big age. And I ask this because so many people, like we've talked about, money can be uncomfortable, money can be
Yeah.
hard to discuss. There's the
Right.
shame, the judgment.
Yeah.
And I
Yeah.
know that a lot of us millennials, when we look at like our student loan debt and we're looking at like the income to debt ratios, the incomes ain't matching the degrees, that's very it can be
Right.
very difficult, and it can be very depressing because you kind of feel like I'm stuck, or
Yeah.
every time tax time comes, you're just like,
No.
"Oh my god." Like, there's
Yeah.
there's hope for us.
There's a way out. There's a way out.
Yeah.
I think avoidance is
Avoidance
the
makes
worst thing
things
you can do.
worse.
Don't avoid.
Don't avoid.
Avoiding isn't going to make it go away.
Mhm.
It's probably going to make it worse.
Yeah.
And then it just keeps you in that cycle, right? So I would say take the first step. Even if it's just opening the mail,
Yeah.
right? Just take that first step and it'll feel so much better. And then talk to somebody. Talk to me, talk to you, talk to your people. Find people in the community who can get you that help,
Yeah.
but avoiding it isn't going to make it any better. And yeah, we've seen a lot. We have seen a lot. And I know Gen Z goes through this as well, but there is light at the end of the tunnel. You can always change your situation um, if you actually put work towards it,
Yeah.
right? We just need a plan. We just need something roadmap that will help us get there. But don't avoid it.
Yeah. Don't avoid it.
Avoidance is the worst thing that you can do. And, I say that too. I am used to be a money avoider.
Oh, wow.
Yeah. So I learned about my money scripts. And it's this psychologist. He came up with like 4 money scripts. These are the 4 buckets that people fall into. So that was part of my personal finance journey, I learned about money scripts. And I am very much a money avoider. So I will spend without looking at my bank account, right? But it wasn't doing me any justice. So when I met my husband, now husband, he was the opposite of me. He was a money vigilance.
Mm,
So he was very much like, I'm going to track this, I'm going to save here. So I was like, oh, okay. I'm not stuck in my situation. Like these are things that can be changed and moved around. And we both work, and money vigilance is not, I'm not saying it to say that it's also a good thing. If you're on the extreme, can also be bad.
yeah,
But we can both work to get a a little bit of the good in each of the money scripts.
yeah,
Yeah. So, do some soul searching. Am I avoiding? Why am I in this situation? Right? Do you not have control over certain things? Do you need to step back? There's could be so many things going on. So do some soul searching and really come up with a plan or even the first step of what you need to do in order to change and turn things around. Yeah. So that's what I'll say. There's light at the end of the tunnel. Just don't avoid. Try to be optimistic. It's neither good or bad. It's just, it is what it is.
yeah,
Right. And you can fix it.
yeah,
Yeah.
for
Yeah.
sure.
Yeah.
Yay! That's a beautiful soft spot for us to end. That's
Um,
perfect.
uh,
Yes. So
this was,
how can thank you. How can the people find you once again?
yeah.
And then drop your in-person, your money mixer again
Yes.
so that
Yeah.
everybody can hear. And I'll put all this in the episode description, y'all, in the show notes. Y'all know how I do.
Yes. So you can find me on social media, Instagram, Black Girl CFO. Threads, same handle. Also on LinkedIn, corporate girly side. Connect with me on LinkedIn. It's just Festina Manly-Spain. And then my website for my accounting firm is fmsadvisory.com. So you can drop me a note there. And then what else am I missing? Oh, the in-person mixer. So it's
Yes.
called Sip and Wealth. So we'll do a little bit of sipping. We'll do a little bit of chit chatting and sharing and building community. So I'm based out in Rockville. So it'll be in Bethesda at 1 p.m. on the 17th. So if you're in the DMV area and want to stop by and check us out, please, please, please come through. If you're on your money journey, this is for you.
Yes. Period. Yay. Thank you so much for being on the show. Threads does it again.
Thank you so much for Threads. Not Instagram, but Threads for
Yes.
connect. I feel like it is a great way to build community as well because there's so many people just trying to do the same thing. So yeah, thanks for dropping that thread and love connecting with you.
Yay. Well, all right, y'all. Y'all know how we do. Remember, before you go, don't forget to hit that subscribe button, hit the follow button. Remember to tell a friend to tell a friend. Make sure that you look up Festina on all of her social media. Don't forget, once again, all of the links, all of the information will be in the episode description. If you have any questions, comments, concerns, collaborations, don't forget to email me, redefiningwellnesspod@gmail.com. As always, y'all, thank you so much for listening. Thank you for watching. And thank you for being uniquely fit. See y'all. Yay! Awesome, girl.